Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. Before I show you what I did with the butterflies and get started on the next little idea I have, I just wanted to tell you something that I spotted on Facebook. Now Tilly Rose, for those of you who don't know Tilly, she has two gorgeous books in the marketplace. There may be more, but these are the only two that I know of and have. And I love them. They're one of my favourites. They're just beautiful, beautiful books. I do a flip through on them in some of my shares that I did, early in the last 12 months or so. Anyway, back to the point. I'm in a Facebook group called Slow Stitch. If you haven't heard of it, join it because it is just full of such beautiful work. Everyone in there is always sharing. And someone asked a question, what are Suffolk puffs? What is their history? Why are they in existence? And there was all sorts of comments. And then up popped Tilly Rose. And I thought, oh, here we go, a textile artist. She'll have a twist on this that we probably don't know. Sure enough. So Tilly, I took a screenshot and I've got it on my phone. And Tilly said that the Suffolk puff probably dates between the 30s and 40s. I sort of knew that. Has a large history of saving fabrics and turning them into covers and furniture. Here's the interesting bit. In the UK, they were often used as bed coverings in rural farm cottages. And the little puffs were filled with rabbit or sheep fur gathered from the hedge groves during the summer months in readiness for the cooler months. Isn't that amazing? I never knew that. And I thought, oh, I must tell you because that's a morsel. So those little Suffolk puffs or yo-yos, inside was often rabbit fluff or sheep fur, wool, to help it become a little bit warmer. Isn't that just the neatest thing? I just thought that was great. But if you are interested in any of Tilly Rose's work, it's right up our alley. She is a clever girl. Very generous with the time too. She has a Facebook page. There's the little Suffolk puffs. If you're wondering what the hang I'm talking about, it's the little gathered circles of fabric that you draw them in and you can use them for so much. Yeah, very, very, very interesting books, those two. Well worth getting if you wanted to add some new books to your library. Now, let's talk butterflies. So yesterday, after I finished viewing, I started stitching these butterflies. Now, that's the one I did with you guys. I then did this one where it was just plain with the single bead. I was like, oh, I do like that compared to having the body stitched in with little beads. I then went to the front one and I did that guy and I hate it, absolutely hate it. The beads are just too big for the space. So I just couldn't get that shape right because already the body of the butterfly is a little abstract. So I'm going to take them out. I thought about them all night and I was like, nah. I was going to get you guys to tell me, do you like them plain or do you like them with the beads? But I can already tell you the answer. Corrine doesn't like them with the beads. So I'm going to unpick him and just satin stitch his torso or his body. And then they'll be more like that. I just find that they just look more simple. Yeah, I've got the strokes of stitch around in the dark blue bit. So it feels flocked. Yeah, I just really love it. And just with a simple bead. Nothing fancy. Yeah. So that's the update on the butterflies. When I finished filming, I did say that I might start working with rabbits. Well, I didn't. I tried my darndest to stay away from the rabbits. So I started working up here. And I'll show you what I did. I ended up stitching onto the V at the back of her little dress here, this piece of lace that I picked up at the vintage markets in Caboolture. This belonged to a lady that was making dolls' clothes, and her daughter was selling off everything that she had inherited in the sewing room. So she's been there for probably 2 years, and she was down to the last little bit. She'd pretty much cleared everything her mother had used. So I got this little bundle, which is pretty much this. There might be a few random things in here. But this is the last of that, you know, doll maker's supplies. Then after I stitched that on, I started looking at this single button, and I ended up stitching another 2 loops on. So I need to find the piece that has these buttons. I know it's here somewhere, and I'm using it in stitching the seasons, celebrate the seasons. I'm using it to connect spring to summer, a strip of it. So I'm hoping after I get the 3 buttons I need, or 4 buttons I need for that, there's still some left that I can do this. But then I thought, well, Honey Bear, she probably collects buttons, so it wouldn't matter if these were all different. If anything, I probably like the idea, a bit of an eclectic take on it. So I have a feeling I'll be on the hunt through my stash, which I probably don't have buttons with a shank. I tend to collect you know, the normal button that you stitch onto things. Excuse me. Goodness me. So I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for some tiny little, what size are they? I should commit that to memory, so if I'm out and about, right there, 1 centimetre or 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, I might need to pop that in the back of my mind and keep my eyes open. The other thing I did is I had placed this bee, which is really suits the nature, up here. Goodness me. I had it sitting up here, but this is really lightweight here, and I had thought that maybe something will happen here that'll give it a bit more structure so the bee wouldn't fall forward. But I sort of like the simplicity of all this up here at the moment. So the bee's been moved to her pocket, and I've pinned it where the pocket has that join, because it's actually 2 pockets. I stitched down through here to make the 2 little pockets, and it's sitting so much better. It's not flip-flopping everywhere. So I'm happy with that. Goodness me. Now the other thing I'm sort of playing with is this piece of tatting was in her pocket. Remember, she had a couple doilies and this piece of tatting. Now this piece of tatting is from my grandmother. Now I'm pretty sure my grandmother didn't do tatting, but her aunt did from memory. So this is a little piece that's just been kicking around in my room, and I'd really love it to be on her little dress. But as you can see, I love where it's pinned because it keeps the top simple. So I'm thinking seriously of stitching that down there, and it gives me this tiny little scrappy bit. There's actually a break here in the pattern. So I'm thinking I could trim it off there, and I've got this little morsel to play with, which I think I'm going to do. I've just made the decision. This all happened yesterday. Last night I stitched butterflies, but yesterday after I finished filming, this happened. These little loops happen. I'm going to stitch that there. So that's now found a home. I love how the top is plain. The only thing is I'll need to find something here, whether it's a decorative piece of lace, or I'll have to have a bit of a scout around. Something will come to mind. If not, I could probably do a little floral embellishment or something. I don't know. Decision for another day. So now let's talk rabbits. Let's flip this over, because you know what happened? The bunny got stitched in. I couldn't not do it. I love her. So the bunny's in. I'm severely running out of space, considering what we work out. There's 5 or 6 prompts left. This doily was in her pocket, so I stitched it down. I can always unstitch it and I can always collage over it, but I thought I'm just going to do it. It's just so pretty, and I know that's a grandma one, so I definitely wanted to secure that into position. This one in her pocket here, I don't think it is. It's definitely old, but it's a man-made one. Like, not man, you know what I mean. Machine-made. This is not a doily from my family. It may have been bought by my family, but it's not a heritage piece. So it might end up just staying in her pocket as a bit of a... Still got that. Oh, that reminds me. I also felt that this piece here, this snippet here, was a little plain. So I did these little blue stitches through it just to sort of bring all of this into it. I sort of felt like it was a little bit on its own. So I really feel that this little dress could do with more of that. Just general little stitches around the place, little details, like there's a little plain bit here, something to go through here, just some little blue lines, or just to help, you know, start tying it all in together. So if you're looking for something to do on your piece, maybe start having a look at the whole picture and think, well, what could you do down here? What could you do through here? And just practice some decorative stitches. So I'm thinking that that's going to happen as this piece comes along, because I sort of want to connect it all together, and I can see a gap here. I don't mind some gaps, but the gap I think will need to be full of at least some stitching, even if it's just blue cotton, just simple stitching, a bit of cream. It doesn't have to be fabrics and all of the, you know, palaver, because we sort of have a lot happening already. But I really think that just that little detail tied that all in together. So, bunnies. As I said yesterday, Miss Bunny here was too big for the front, and I was concerned it took up too much space. Well, that concern is out the door. Hence, Bunny is in position. Let's hope the prompts aren't too big, but we'll see. I mentioned that I've got a PDF in my Etsy store connected to some videos I did 18 months ago. Scrappy Rabbit, Scrappy Butterfly, Scrappy Dragonfly. They're all together in a playlist if you were interested in checking them out. But the bunnies I did around Easter, and I did different things with them for gifts for family and friends over that Easter period. So the plan, and that's the PDF there, as you see it, all different types of bunnies. So what I thought, because Big Bunny, which is that one, is too big, I thought of Little Bunny. So I also, before I started, I thought, well, I'll fiddle around with the printer and adjust the sizes of them. This one, I sort of went down in size thinking I was going up. So that's an actual error. And I thought, well, maybe the Big Bunny now is a better size. But there's not much difference between that and that. So I'll put my template away. So here's an option. Then I realised how to use the printer, and I started going up in size, focusing on the little guy. So I think that was 150% bigger. So it added another 50% to the original. And I thought, well, that's getting probably too big. And then I went again at 120%. So 20% bigger than the original. So that's how that worked. I thought I had to put into my machine 50% bigger, and that's what happened. But I actually had to type into my printer 150 to get this one and 120 to get this one. So I don't know. I don't know if you really care about any of the tech. I don't either. And usually after one mess, I usually figure it out. But when you don't do it all the time, I'll come back to increasing or decreasing a pattern in the future. And yeah, we'll have forgotten everything. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut out a couple of these rabbits. We'll just do a rough cut because I still want a baby rabbit. that's getting the right size for that little spot, because there's a few things that can bump into it. Already I'm liking the rabbit facing a different direction to what I was playing with yesterday, because her nose on the big one was over here and it sort of bumped into the heart and the ears covered that. So the plan is to actually have it face that way and then decide which one actually suits best. And I think I'll work with these two, the ones I actually increased. Isn't that interesting about the Suffolk puffs? I could just see me back in the day gathering bunny fluff and stuffing them into Suffolk puffs, drawing them together, stitching them together. I would have so made one of those if I was back in that day. Well, you're sort of just okay. You're near perfect. But I sort of don't mind this big. No, I think you're it. All right. So let's trim out Bunny, because what I'm going to do then is pop it on some felt. It's the felt I usually use behind all of my stitching when I'm doing panels or, you know, something that's not going onto the wall and needs a little bit of structure. I use this felt that I get from Spotlight. It's by the meter. It's really economical backing. Gives you a nice solid foundation. I'm trying my darndest to stay on the outside of those lines. And we're going to make a Scrappy bunny. I'll probably do the two of them. Why not? I'll do the two and then I've got a spare for a rainy day. Whenever I do these scrappy projects, it's a great way to get rid of all your scraps. I do flowers and butterflies and just throw them in a little timber box. And whenever we have these projects, I know I've got a little resource of neutral, usually neutral, little elements, because most of my scraps are all neutral lace and things. And I'm thinking of using that little piece of tatting that I just snipped off on the little bunny. And that way it's got its home and it's forever with Honey Bear. Might look good around the neck of the rabbit. Don't know. Once I firmly decide on which size this bunny's going to be, we might be able to bring a little bit of blue into the rabbit. That'll really tie it to Honey Bear's dress, maybe a button or something, or at least some beads. We certainly should bead. So there's baby rabbit. And there's the other one. Oh, I don't know. Where's Mama Rabbit? Oh, we could have a lot of rabbits. No, we don't need a lot of rabbits. Look at that. Oh, imagine little baby over here with Mama. Oh, seriously. Stay focused. I'm not sure. Let's just do the two of them like I thought. We'll do two. Okay, so the next thing is to sketch out. Where's my... Don't tell me I don't have a pen here. Well, that'd be disappointing. Just looking for my black or even red. I bet pencil won't show up. I don't really want to use the blue pen because then I've got to add water and I'm not a fan. All right. Oh, there it is. I can see it. It's just down the table a bit, about 2 meters away. Okay. I much prefer these heat pens. So it's Sunday for me, but you're also watching this on Sunday, but you'll be a week later. So all going to plan, I should be up at Burrum, Hervey Bay, Burrum region on the Fraser coast of Queensland. It's 4 hours from Brisbane. Hopefully, with the keys to the house in my hot little hands, moving in. Well, you know, basic stuff. But who knows? I might not be either. I don't hold a lot of hope, to be honest, but we are continuing to prep and pack and organise ourselves. Pepper and the puppies should be by then at Hervey Bay with my mate Sue. But who knows? They might still be with me. We're just having to play it by ear. If a few videos start getting missed, well then you know the girl is busy and everything went to plan. But if the videos sort of trundle along as per normal, I may have had time on my hands due to plans going off the rails. Okay, so now I've got my little buddies. I'm just going to, my washing machine is beeping. I just went down to the puppies first thing to give them their breakfast, their sloppy gruel. And oh my goodness, the smell that met me was poor. My goodness, when you start putting them on that, you know, puppy food all soft and mushy, and their little bodies are getting bigger. Even Pepper's like, even Pepper was, she's abandoning her duties of self-cleaning those pups. She was so good. She was so attentive when it was all milk-based little poops. Now that the puppy food's involved, I point to them. Like in the past, I could point to a little puppy poop and say, Pepper, and she'd go in and just, you know, fix it, take it away, make it happen. Now I point to them, she's not so keen. She's like, occasionally she will take care of the business. But yeah, Grandma is now picking up all of that. And overnight, oh my goodness, they must have woke through the night. There must have been a puppy party in there. Because Hokey Nelly was nasty. So yeah, so I decided I'd feed them straight away. Didn't even make my coffee. I thought, right, feed these pups, fill them up, and then they immediately go to sleep. So I then put them in that black square container. Well, it's not a container. It's actually a stool thing, a seat that I turn upside down and all the puppies fit beautifully inside. A wicker thing. You've seen it on the videos. So I popped them all in there. So they immediately crashed. One big food coma puppy pile. Oh, I was just about dry reaching by then. And then got the towels and everything stripped down, changed the bed linen. It's all in the washing machine. it's going to need 2 cycles, but oh. So the first cycle's done and it's beeping at me now, so I'll go down and run them again. Can't hurt. So for me being Sunday, I think it's Thursday this coming week for me, we'll be hopefully heading up to Hervey Bay with the pups. And Pep will camp the night at Dave and Sue's. And then I'm just going to plug my little iron in so that I can iron those little marks off. Yeah, so what was I saying? So Sunday for me, week before you, the plan is to pack up everything on the Wednesday. So we've got a van for work and our vehicle. So Wednesday we are loading up the van with as much of stuff we can get in it. We luckily have quite a bit of furniture from when we had a previous house up at Barham, and we've just brought it all back to Brisbane and have stowed it in our house in Brisbane. So I've got the beds and a couch and the whole kitchen I just packed up, and look, I'm trying not to burn myself. I'm just bringing my scraps in a little closer. I better turn this iron off before there's a disaster. So yeah, when we sold the first house up there, it was like a family holiday house. So all of the things in the kitchen I just packed up, kept together and put into the shed. Now that was 2.5 years ago. That's how long it's taken to rebuild a house up there. So all I've got to do is just grab all those bits and pieces. I'm sort of looking for some bits and pieces to put on Bunny. Yeah, I just have to grab those boxes and everything should be in there. The toaster and a fry pan, just basic stuff. When my mum and I set up that kitchen, we just got bits and pieces, you know, had everything already. And the last thing we needed is pretty much double. I'm going to focus on the little one first. So it's enough to, you know, have a bit of a party if some fishermen come, or, you know, if we go up there and just relax. And the plan was in the future, one day, we will live there. Well, that day is coming up very close. It's going to take still a little while because our life is still connected to Brisbane. But that's the plan. And finally, we've got this house back on the agenda. So now the family can meet there and hang out and enjoy ourselves. That one there is a bit big. I might put that one there. But boy, it's been a trial. I feel like I need some more scrappy bits. Oh no, I just need to dig deeper. Let's get that out of there so I can see what have we got here. So that's the plan. Load up the van, load up the vehicle, the car and myself, Pups and Pepper, and some pantry items will go together, and Gaz will take the van with the kitchen table, maybe a bit of the couch, at least something for us to sit on, and linen. I don't have window coverings yet, so I've just found a heap of sheets that I can put up against the windows so that we have a little bit of privacy until I can sort some form of covering. I know what I want, and I made the last lot of curtains for the house in Brisbane, and I thought, I couldn't be bothered now. I just don't have time. You know, just sheers. And in the bedrooms, I did a sheer and a solid curtain. And I thought, no, I won't have time. Not now that the house has come to us so late in the year. And after sewing all those curtains last time, I saved a fortune. Like, I had people out to quote, and it was like $25,000 to have curtains made for the house in Brisbane. And I was like, no way, Jose. So I went out and I bought the same sheer fabric that they were showing me samples of. And I think the whole thing came in at just over $2,000. And I've got a lot of windows. The thing that cost me probably the most was a couple of the big sliding doors. I had to get specially made tracks. They weren't on the shelf ready to buy because they were just a little bit too big. They're like stacker doors things. So that was the only real big expense, but that was easy. But this next house, no, couldn't be bothered. I'd rather stitch with you guys. My motivation has changed. So, yeah, not going to happen. Be easier if I was living in the house, you know, and I could fiddle around with it and had time, but no. Feel a bit guilty. You just can't do everything, can you? Sometimes you just gotta let it go. And most of the windows we did frosted glass, so it still lets light in, but it's got the privacy, so that's going to save a lot of money. That little flower is interesting, but no. So this is like little bits. That there might match. Does that match? Have I got chocolate in the mind? It's not bad. I was wanting to use this tatting around the neck. But I don't know. I really like that. I don't mind that. So, yeah, once we get to Dave and Sue's, drop off Pepper and the pups, stay there the night, settle them all in, and then the next morning, hopefully all going to plan, we'll meet the builder. Oh, that's pretty. It's got a stain on it. Hopefully meet the builder, get the keys to the house. So easy just to put one thing on, but I'm trying my darndest to keep it very snippety. And then Friday will be unload, build a bed. Well, no, we're not building any beds. We're just taking a mattress. So we've got an ensemble from one of the spare rooms from the last house. So we're just taking the mattress up, and then the next trip we'll take the base, and we'll probably just camp. Oh, that's the base I could use for that mushroom. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking mushrooms again. Where was that crocheted thing? It was in the box. And, yeah, so we'll just... It's hard to do snippets and yibba yabba, you know. We will just camp in a spare room until our bed eventually gets there. or we get some freeloading family and friends coming to visit, and then we'll be forced to move probably into our main bedroom and build a bed. It's pretty. But at the moment, it's just a makeshift camp. Don't have much time for anything else. But I did, see that was the start of a mushroom too. But I mustn't have liked it. I went and did, I don't know if I told you this yesterday. I apologise if I've already told you this story. But we went to Woolworths and did the grocery shop. And I just did dry goods. And they're all in the back of my car, ready to go. Oh, I just don't know about that. Oh, hello. What do we got here? That's a sweet little piece. I like that. Maybe move it to there. Yeah, so I just focused on dry. That'd look good under her neckline of her dress. Oh gosh, how am I going to do this? Talk to you guys and be creative. It's a struggle. That's exactly what I was thinking. Just a little piece. I'll pin it there until something else better comes along. Just something, you know, little motif for. Yeah, so I went to Woolies, did a full shop of everything dry that could sit in the pantry. So, and also the laundries in the bathrooms. So, washing powder, bathrooms. What do you have in there? Some soap, some shower. 2 bathrooms, so something for guests, something for us, toothpaste. Then I got to the kitchen and just thought about my pantry, and I thought about the meals. So breakfast, a couple boxes of cereal, some Vegemite, Milo, coffee, sugar, tea. What else did I do? I then thought about just quick meals, so some tuna in the tin. My husband grabbed some baked beans. They're disgusting. I can't stand baked beans. But anyway, we got baked beans, some 2-minute noodles, and some taco packs, just things that don't perish quickly. What else did I get? I got a cake mix, and I got a brownie mix, a couple packets of crisps, some nibblies in the way of some nuts, some dried fruit, just general bits and pieces, so that if someone turns up, because there'll be lots of little visitors popping in, we can just put some little nibblies out. Because we're in a little coastal town, so it's, you know, it's, you can get things, but you tend to pay coastal town prices. So I said to my husband, I'm just going to get myself a few basics, well, gee, it ended up being $800. Oh my goodness, the cost of everything. But you know, once you start buying like the little tablet you put in your dishwasher, your washing powder, like there's $20. That's just ridiculous. So $800 later. I'm sure I told you this yesterday. I do apologise. I told someone yesterday. Maybe it wasn't you guys. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I just want to sit and sew. I just want to sit and stitch, and I just feel like I'm being pulled from pillar to post. It's all good, bud. Don't worry about me. I'll survive. I'd much prefer to be busy than not. So that little job's done, and all the bags of those groceries are still in the back of my vehicle, in the very back. And on the back seat will be Pepper and the pups. On the front seat will be some eskies of food for my dad, because I've been cooking for Dad as well. So we will be swinging by the farm on the way, drop off Dad's dinners, so he'll be sorted for another month. Just stitching these few little things down. I like how that came together. It's simple but cute. And then I think Saturday, after we get the key on the Friday, so that'll be the 14th for me, I've got booked the electrical goods. So when we had the last house, we sold a lot of those things off because I've already got everything in Brisbane. So we decided, instead of hauling back a fridge and a washing machine and a dryer and a TV, we sold it all off. A few bits and pieces went to my brother, but predominantly it all got sold off. And all we bought back was a couch, beds, and the contents of the cupboards. So it was pretty easy. There wasn't a lot to store back here in Brisbane while we waited for this house to be built. So on Saturday, Good Guys are delivering a fridge, a freezer, a TV, a dryer, and a washing machine. So Saturday is going to be a big day, getting all that installed. Once I have my fridge and freezer, I can then Sunday go into Hervey Bay and get some food like eggs, bread, things like that. So that'll be Sunday. And then Monday, which will be very close to when you're actually watching this video. You might even get this video on the Monday, actually, because I haven't been putting up a Sunday video for a little while, just to take a little pressure off. So you'll be watching it Monday. Well, that Monday, I'll be driving back to Brisbane, my husband and I, the two vehicles. And we've got to do, when we get back to Brisbane, what have we got to do? We've got to do all the bookkeeping for the week, so the staff wages and things, pay all the bills for the week, catch up on any invoices of stock that may have arrived through the week. So it's, an evening of bookwork for the business. Tuesday, we will reload and drive back to Barham on the Wednesday, but only take the van this time. We'll then on that Wednesday, we'll be back at Barham with another load. By then, hopefully, some of the trades that we've engaged to do some things around the property, like driveways, sheds, retainer walls, fences, oh my goodness, and eventually turf, will hopefully be starting, if not very close. I can get someone to quote some window coverings, all those little jobs. And then we will stay there probably 3, maybe 4 days, maybe 3 days, then come back to Brisbane, pay the bills, pay the staff, load up again, go back. So I foresee, I said to my staff, I wrote them a big email yesterday and said, guys, the next few weeks between now and the beginning of November, we will be coming and going from the house, trying to get things sorted and the next phase of the building process underway. So bear with us. They're pretty self-sufficient now. We knew all this was coming 2 years ago, so we've worked really hard at setting up our shops to be pretty self-sufficient. Lots of well-trained staff, and they're just fantastic. We'd be lost without them. So they sort of have been prepared for Mum and Dad to leave occasionally. That's what they say. Whenever we were flying out to China or Hong Kong or something to do work for the business and, you know, source stock, they'd always say, uh-oh, Mum and Dad are leaving the country. What possibly will go wrong? We'd go, nothing, please, nothing. But you can imagine it always did. So, yeah, busy girl. Got lots of videos made in the can, so to speak. You know, in Hollywood, they say the movie's in the can. I say that now. That's like big Hollywood talk. The movie's in the can. So I got lots of videos for you guys in the can to keep you occupied. I don't know about this little piece of tulle, but I do like it. It just needs, I love that little baby, little eye. I'll have to go hunting for something to do an eye. I could even run that up there. It's a great way to use up some little precious bits and pieces. Yeah, I might do that. So I do it up there. I need to decide which one I'm using. I'll just leave it for a second. Need something here to soften. Maybe some cheesecloth. So plenty of videos for you to watch. There might be the odd one not happen, but I think we'll be okay. We seem to have made it to this point where I thought we might be very shaky by now, but no, we're still, well, I'm still holding it together, I guess is the words. I haven't lost me noodle. I'm still hanging in there. Where's something to go? I've sort of put that on there, but I feel like it's not quite right. Got some little flowers. Maybe I extend the bouquet a little. Don't know, it doesn't quite look right either. Sometimes it's just a little morsel of lace. An opposite colour to what you're working with. Yeah, just a little. That's good. Just that little piece was like a little bit like that. I just tuck it in there. It's provided a soft frill. Then you got this, then you've got that. And that's it. I'll pop a few little beads in amongst it as well. I'm going to run out of time. Look, 48 minutes already. Seriously. Oh. What's going on there? So that's the latest. These Roxy videos are good because I can actually talk to you all in more real time. Some of the other videos I've pre-recorded, like Stitch the Season and my snippet journal. What else? The puppy videos are real time, so I can get messages through to you then. But some of the other ones, I just, yeah, they don't quite match up. They may have been done 3 weeks ago, or, you know, like Stitch the Seasons. I'm actually 2 videos off finishing it, so that's bringing me right up to the end of November. So those Friday videos are definitely, you know, in the can. But the Roxy ones, they're good because I can be a little bit more current and fill you up to speed with what's actually going on in my world. Where the other ones are probably a little bit more just chit-chat, you know. Like you know I do. Just going to crimple that a little bit. I feel like I like that lacy three-dimensional feel there. So I'll just pop a few little stitches in there. I like that little whimsical feel. Okay, I'll leave that thread attached. Let's tidy up. I still think I need a mushroom on that girl's dress, but we'll let it go. Don't have time for mushrooms. Enough is enough. So I'm just keeping these little flowers out. I sort of feel like they might come in handy. I just want to trim this back a little bit because I want to see the edge of the felt now. Can't believe how quickly an hour goes. Okay, just to soften that a little bit. A little layer in there. Now, let's get, see there's this thing as well. Oh my goodness, I could spend hours on Honey Bear's dress. Oh, we need to talk about the mannequin. That mannequin has had no love whatsoever. I just haven't connected to it like I have this. And I think it's because it's just white and lace and it's all being pieced. When the prompt happens, I just pin something else. But and it's coming together. But A, it's on a mannequin, so it's hard to show you guys. But this is, yeah, I don't know. I'm really falling in love with this little Honey Bear dress. It feels more like what you guys are all doing, little morsels of things coming together, which is where the girls were going with this whole prompt. The mannequin feels like a white, I don't know, dress. And the, yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same eclectic feel that Honey Bear's dress does. Honey Bear's dress feels like she has literally gathered all of these little bits herself. And I really like that. So the little bunny or the big bunny? I think the little bunny. Yep. So now, do we put the tatting across the top of those ears? I think so. All right. So we'll do that. Then I can stitch little bunny on. And we need to find something for an eye. So that second bunny that I'm not using, I'll just show you up close the finished result. I'll pop her in that little box. And then one rainy day. The only thing that's not on little bunny here is something blue. So what I might do, I'll have to do it off camera, I'm gonna run out of time, is in the center of that rose, see that little circular spot? We'll put some beads in there, I think, and that'll just put a little flush of the blue. Now we can either stitch that in, nope. I think we'll pop that up there. That's going to sit beautifully. Okay. Now I've unthreaded the needle. So that's the latest, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I really do appreciate when I get a chance sitting down and reading all your comments, and oh my gosh, it's been so good. I Feels like I've got a support crew for my mental health. It really does. I'm sure the other YouTubers feel the same at times, that, you know, it's such a slog to keep up with the world of YouTube and produce all this content. It really is, you know, a lot of work. And to have you guys comment and like and subscribe is just so, it's so good. It's nice to know you're out there still, because we tend to yibby yabber away to no one. So when you guys watch a video and comment back, what have I done there? I've twisted that. Oh my goodness. Yep, I've twisted it. Tatting is a funny little thing. That is actually not the design of the tatting. That's got to be the other way. I hope I don't mangle the ear of the rabbit in unpicking this. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is I really appreciate your support. Because if it wasn't for you guys saying hello and checking in with me, I wouldn't be doing this. We'd have to be sponsored by a TV production house and be paid, and, you know, YouTube just wouldn't be it as we know. Might come from this side, then I know I've got the tatting laying exactly the way I want it. That should fit. Okay, try that again. We've got 4 minutes to stitch the tatting on. So yeah, thanks guys. I really, really appreciate it. And hello to all of the lads out there, all the husbands that are made to sit through my rambling because their wives or partners are watching me. There's a few of you out there. I've had a few comments from ladies saying, oh, my hubby liked that, or my hubby thought this, and so it's really cute. Thanks, boys. Long-suffering spouses and partners of stitches. Do you like this, dear? Yes, dear. It's just lovely. I know you're all looking at each other now, smiling. Hey, boys, that's what you have to do. You have to say, yes, dear, you did a lovely job of that. That encouraging comment that we get from our partners, hopefully. All right. This is going to take a while because tatting has all of these little loops. And I want to put a little stitch in each one so that it sits perfectly. So that way when you look at Bunny, you can appreciate the beautiful tatting. Oh, I hope I find some more in my travels. This is my last little morsel, other than it being attached to something. But you know, that little piece, just that little strip where someone's had a play. I love those strips. They're precious. I wonder when my great aunt made this, did she think that it'd be on the ear of a bunny on a teddy bear's dress? How random is that? Nearly there. Now this twisted, so I've got to untwist it. That's got it. Gosh, that is perfect for there. I will stitch that tatting down on her little bodice. The only comment, which is what stopped me from doing it last night, was that it only gets to her underarms either side. So I've got this little piece on the back that I don't have enough tatting to do it. this here. See that bit there? But I was sitting on the couch pinning it thinking, oh, what a shame, but I do love it there. I might go through that little box of bits and bobs from that lady who was making the dollies, and there might be a piece of lace in there that can continue on from the armpit back to the, you know, the seam going down the back or the opening. There'd have to be something in there. There's all sorts of old laces, pretty little things. So I will endeavour to do that as well. And then we're pretty much ready for the next prompt. My journal. Will I do something in the journal? Nature. Look, I'm thinking I might skip the prompt this week for the journal, nature, and see what the next one is, because there's plenty of nature in there already. The only idea I had was, remember when I picked up all of those beautiful old laces from Olna? They were at a retreat being sold by the daughter, and they are all in a little box. If there was some florally type laces in there, I could use them in a page. But my concern is my book is filling up fast, and I really wanted to do a journal dedicated to Olna, just focusing on stitching those beautiful laces onto a page so they're forever safe and they're not just, you know, lost to the abyss of making rabbits like this. So I don't really want to go there. I'm going to need something for an eye. There's a little pearl in here. The other thing I could do is put a pearl into a flower. Have a little flower as the eye. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, so I think the journal will not get any piece added this time. And by the time you're watching this anyway, we're ready for our next prompt. If my memory serves me correctly, so probably Monday for you, I think I worked out. By Thursday, we'll have another prompt. So I might skip the journal. As for the mannequin, oh my goodness, I don't know when I'll get to that. I'll just keep pinning pieces on. That's the beauty of a mannequin. I just walk over and go, oh, that'll work. Pin it on. One day I'll have to sit down with it and have a big stitching session. There's the little eye. I'm going to use that little flower as my base, and then stitch maybe a tiny little pearl in there. So that's the plan. I'll put some beads and flowers into the neckline. So yeah, where's the needle? Too thick. All right, well, I might chuff off. I'll sit here and finish the eye, put some little flowers in here. I'll probably go along the lines of what I did in the monogram with that little blue sequin in the shape of a flower. It appears up here as well in that heart. Where is it? This one. I'm thinking I'll use a couple of these. I get 3 out. So I'll stitch all of that together to finish our bunny. Then I'll attach bunny to the dress. I'm going to unpick the butterfly bodies that have beads and finish them with just a general, you know, satin stitched torso or body for the little butterfly. Those ones. Those little guys will go in the centre of the bunny just to give a little sparkle of blue with some pearls just to jazzy bunny up, and then stitched into position. Okay, All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I've got probably another hour of stitching here just to have a little fiddle. Or maybe I just turn the camera back on and tomorrow you get Bunny being finished. That's a better idea. All right, I'm going to stop the video, lock this one down, and then turn it back on and we'll go again. All right, guys, look after yourselves. Bye.